Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be explaining the end of the Bad Batch, the season finale, the series finale. The show is now completely over. There's just nothing else after this, and I think that the finale of this overall show has done quite justice for not just this past season, but as I had also mentioned in our review/breakdown video for the Bad Batch's third and final season finale episode, it did justice for the entirety of the show, I believe. So there's still a bit of kind of confusion that's gone around here of like what kind of went on, what actually happened there at the end of the show itself. A little bit of conclusion. We're here to clear the air. That's exactly what we're going to be discussing and talking about in today's video. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hop right on into it right now. Before we do though, however, grab the subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab the subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from dorksideoftheforce.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall garnering source. So Star Wars The Bad Batch has officially come to an end with the episode The Cavalry Has Arrived, the third and final season of The Bad Batch. It was a harrowing finale with insanely high stakes from the start to the finish. It really had me on the edge of my seat for the whole 50-minute runtime. With so much happening, let's tackle the major points throughout this episode and explaining those endings and the overall conclusion here of the show. So the Zillo Beast was a big thing that went on within this episode. It was a very long, well overdue thing. It also kind of almost felt like something that a lot of fans wanted to see, was the Zillo Beast finally going on some type of rampage on Mount Tantiss. And while sneaking out of the Force-sensitive kids, Omega freed this creature at the same time to create a distraction. The Zillo Beast climbed out of its cell and broke out of the side of Tantiss. This had also allowed Hunter and the team to sneak into the base. The Zillo Beast was last seen roaming across the wilderness of Wayland. After a decade of storytelling dating back to the Clone Wars animated show, the Zillo Beast is finally free. That being said, this would be allegedly, this article says, is actually the same Zillo Beast that we saw in the Clone Wars animated show. I don't necessarily believe that. I'm pretty sure that there, and I could be very wrong about this, I'm pretty sure that there was a Zillo Beast from season 2 that was seen, and like the Empire had captured it when it was still a baby and still little, and then it kind of groaned in its captivity on Mount Tantiss. Again, I could be wrong about that. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below though. That's our understanding of it though, however, and to say the least, I don't think we'll see much of the Zillo Beast in the future of a galaxy far, far away. That doesn't mean we can't though. Se and Rampart, though, moving on here, were another big, major, heavy plot point in this episode. Not just that, but throughout the entirety of the show, and they got a great conclusion. A very satisfying conclusion, one that we can't really speculate much on. After saying her goodbyes to Omega, Se makes it her mission to destroy the science database on Mount Tantiss. Omega couldn't have really ever been free as long as that information had existed or been in circulation. However, not every villain gets a redemption arc entirely and completely, and I'm honestly glad, thinking about it, that Lucasfilm and Star Wars did this with Rampart, and that they still made him more of a bad guy than a good guy in the end of the day, and that he doesn't take that heroic path, even when it was offered to him. He follows Se into the science lab and holds her at blaster point, forcing her to give him all of the information about Project Necromancer. He wants to use it as a bargaining chip with the Empire, even if that was to work. What Rampart doesn't know is that she's picked up a thermal detonator on the way over. He shoots her in the chest, causing her to drop it. The detonator goes off, killing Rampart and finishing off Se at the same time, destroying all of the information about Omega that was being kept there at Tantiss. This act cripples Emperor Palpatine's cloning process and really slows it down, which is exactly why this is still being worked on in The Mandalorian, and that Palpatine can never make his successful clone in The Rise of Skywalker necessarily. Speaking of which, we also have Dr. Royce Hemlock and everything that went on with him in this episode, season 2, and everything with that. Hemlock slaps a pair of binders onto Omega with himself on the other end. As he drags her towards his shuttle outside on a platform high on top of Tantiss, Hunter and Crosshair arrive to stop him. She stabs Hemlock in the leg, giving Crosshair the opportunity to shoot the binders off. Hunter then fires upon Hemlock, striking him multiple times and sending him tumbling over the railing to his seemingly death, and I don't think he'll be back. While it might not be death by Zillo Beast, as many fans kind of wanted and were anticipating, I really do believe that this was quite a satisfying ending for Hemlock, and he got what he deserved, is what really matters. Hunter got to avenge the clones Hemlock had tortured for who knows how long, bringing the Doctor's reign to an end. An end with Hemlock and also Mount Tantiss, another big major plot point seen throughout the episode. Both Echo and Wrecker defeat the last of the CX clones in a brutal brawl. Earlier, Echo had freed the imprisoned clones, many of whom chose to fight with him to save the rest of the batch with one more fight and to take down the rest of Tantiss. Grabbing a shuttle, they pick up Hunter, Wrecker, and Omega to escape. The captured clones are also now free, or at least what's left of them. Governor Tarkin arrives at Tantiss at the end of the episode to investigate Hemlock's failure. With the Doctor now gone, all of Nalisay's work destroyed, and Project Necromancer in ruins, Tarkin gives the order to shut down the entirety of the base, and all of the fundage will be transferred over to Project Stardust, aka the Death Star. And before rescuing the rest of the batch, Echo and Omega also ensured that the Force-sensitive kids escaped safely with Emery Carr. She took them to Pabu, where all of these now freed clones are also being taken, and well, from there to be distributed around and kind of given a life of their own. With Hunter and Rex working together to find all the families of these kids, Echo gives Emery this opportunity to come to him with Pandora to work with Senator Chuchi. The information Emery knows about the Empire is doing would be quite vital to Echo and his allies. Wanting to make amends, Emery agrees and also leaves with Echo, going off to do political work. As for the Bad Batch and, well, the Bad Batch themselves, Hunter, Wrecker, Crosshair, and Omega settle on Pabu with their Lucra hound, Batcher, who is still the best girl. For the original members of Clone Force 99, their fight is over, and that they choose to build a life there, to simply lay low and, well, chill now. And as we also saw towards the end of that episode, years later, Omega is now older, and she wants to still fight. Along with Gonki and with Hunter's blessings, she chose to be a pilot for the Rebel Alliance, it seems, as she goes off. With text goggles on the dashboard of her ship, which brought tears to my eyes, she leaves Pabu and her brothers for her next adventure alone. It really does give that satisfying conclusion to the entirety of, well, not just this past season, but the entirety of this show. The scene alone is just so perfect, breathtaking, and I loved it. I never thought that we'd ever get anything like that, to be honest with you guys. It also does open up that door at the same time if they wanted to, not that they need to, but to see some type of animated project, or even not that, maybe a novel, a comic book, would be interesting enough to tell some of those stories, those journeys that Omega goes on with the Rebel Alliance. Anyway guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.